Hello, everybody. How are you? This is Jong, recording another session of Facebook Live for iRcade. Um, we were actually we just had a session right before. It was about 45-minute session, I believe, and I just found out that I was talking to myself for about the last 35 minutes or so. Oh my God! We had great people joining in the sessions, and I feel really bad. I don't know what happened. My sincere apologies. These technical issues keep on coming up, so I think I need to talk to somebody to resolve. I will make sure I do that. My sincere apologies for that. Anyway, um, 13th episode, and today's Friday. So, um, hey Bobby, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining, my friend. My sincere apologies. I found out that I was talking to myself for about past 35 minutes or so. I don't know. I think my internet got disconnected somewhere. So my sincere apologies for that. So I'm doing another session. Um, I'll try to make it interesting, more interesting than last time. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining, my friend. Appreciate it. Sincere apologies for the hiccup. Hi, Jeff, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Just a quick background story. I was holding another session right before this, and I found that I was talking to myself for about 35 minutes. I feel really bad. Sincere apologies to everybody. My God. I'll do something. Maybe I need a better internet or something. But I'll make it happen. So my sincere apologies for that. I think I got to maybe my second game or so on my last session. So I'll try to see. I'll try to show you all the other games. Yeah, Jeff, my sincere apologies for that. I didn't know, right? So on my computer, everything seems like everything is going and everything, and I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God, the crowd is really quiet today. I'm like, what happened? Am I must be boring. So I was trying to make jokes and things like that, and nobody was responding. So I'm like, oh my God, I must be really boring today. What can I do? What can I do? And 35 minutes just flew by real quickly. But and then I found out that internet was disconnected or something was disconnected. So I found out the hard way. So let's see if I can make it more interesting this time. Thank you so much again for joining, everybody. Appreciate it. All right, today let me show you the games again. But before I get to that, hey Chris, how's it going? I finished the entire thing. uh, Chris is asking. I was wondering how long did it take me to figure out. So I showed all the games, and then I sat down and like, okay, great, let's have a great chat. That everybody's like quiet, nothing, right? So I'm like, oh my God, I must be really boring today. I feel bad. I'm like, oh, sorry about that. Anybody have questions? And nobody's answering. I'm like, okay. Thank you so much for joining. We have another session Tuesday. I'll make sure that I'll be funnier at the time. And and I disconnected. And then afterwards, I viewed the video. I went to Facebook and viewed the video and found out that only 10 minutes were there. So that's how I found out. Uh, oh, so sorry about that. Hey, Stefan, how's it going? Hey, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining, my friend. Uh, I don't mean to blow up your phone. I think I'm blowing on mine. um, but I'll try to make it interesting today. So, real quickly, I only saw the start of the first one, but didn't see you play it. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much for letting me know. And because there's going to be many people after the recording who's going to be seeing the video, let me just give you a quick update on our status as well. Stefan, hey man, going well. Great to hear. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it. I know you're teasing. So am I. So am I. By the way, I love teasing. So let's continue teasing. um, Jeff, you got a box of games for us today. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. In fact, I'm so glad that you only saw one of them on the last attempt, because I'll be showing you some more. So let me do that. But before I get there, because and you guys heard this in my last session, but let me just quickly go over our current status of what we're doing and how far away are we, and so forth. Um, so we are. It's been an extremely busy week for us, and lots of things going on. Chicago weather is awesome right now, and everybody's outside except for me. I'm sort of stuck in this dungeon, basement dungeon, working on Kickstarter thing. But great thing is the progress is going really well. So yesterday, we had our picture shoot in LA area. We have a good team, good sized team in LA, and we had the photo shoot, and they're supposed to have come out really well. I haven't seen it yet, and I'll have a look. But several people came over and they're like, "Oh my god, this is it! It's really cool!" And they played it, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" So I heard some good stories, good things that happened during the photo shoot. So that was really cool. And then this Friday, we finally have our Kickstarter video shoot. Yay! And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really, really great. So I'll keep you updated on how that goes. Again, it's going to be shot near LA, Southern California area. So if you see them, stop by and say hi. I won't be there due to Mr. Corona, but if you see them, please stop by, and you can also try some games there as well while you're at it. I think they're going to be playing a lot of games. So that's going on this week. Kickstarter page, we're also writing. We're trying to get it up and running as soon as we can. My team and I are sort of lacking sleep these days, try to make this happen. But the great thing is it's moving really well. So we'll try to make it happen soon. So with that, let me show you some games. Let's play some games together. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining, my friend, and my sincere apologies. Some disconnect happened in internet connection somewhere. So I was talking to myself for 35 minutes. Let's see. So, Mark, you haven't missed much. That's a good thing. Let's see. I'm gonna go over to my device and show you some games. So we'll start from the beginning. I'll be right back. You can give me 1 second. Okay, testing microphone. Is it working? I hope it's working. I can hear it from my side, but if I have any issues, please let me know. And by the way, Kevin, thank you so much for your question. I haven't read it yet, but after showing you the games, I'll get back to it. It's pretty long, so it may take some time to read, but I'll definitely do that. So let me show you the game. Can somebody confirm for me real quickly that we have connection and audio? I want to make sure that you can see me or hear me. Am I on? Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate it. So let me get there. And real quickly, I want to show you, for those who joined for the first time or viewing the video for first time, the device. So scooting this a little bit back, you see the 80 bars of very powerful audio right there. 19 inches of beautiful screen right there. And we have the controls. So 2 joysticks and 6 buttons each. And we have a set of control buttons where on the right hand side, you have a power button. If you press it lightly, it goes to sleep. If you press again, it wakes up. And also, if you press and hold for 2 seconds, it shuts down. And if you press it from there, it turns on. It takes about 24 seconds to come up approximately. So probably less than 30 seconds, you can start playing games from ground zero. Then you have your coin button and player one, player to start. And then, of course, you have your volume button to control volume. I'm going to put it down so that you can hear me talk while I'm playing the games. And then you have the menu pause button. During the game, if you press pause button, it pauses. If you press it again, it unpauses. And then if you press and hold menu button for 2 seconds, it will go back to this menu. And of course, you have your 35 millimeter headset jack so that you can play games at night when everybody's sleeping. All right. And then, of course, you have your display. So let me go over the menu real quickly. So you have a recent menu where it lists all the recent games that you have played. And then next to it, it lists all the games that are in your system. So I got quite a few. And then, so we also break this down into genres. And in genre itself, it's also alphabetically ordered. And I have a lot of genres here, a lot of games loaded here. And then, of course, at the end, you have settings. And then my Wi-Fi is connected right now, and time is a little off, but it's okay. I'm just too lazy to fix it. Oops. All right. So let me show you a couple of games. So first one that I want to show you is a game from 1996. 1996, and the game that I'm about to show you is a shooter genre. So today, typically when I do these sessions, I have a theme. Today there is no theme. It's just a mix, quote unquote. So what I was thinking is I wanted to show you a game from each different genre, maybe a couple of genres that I haven't shown you yet. So I wanted to show you that as well. So, but first one is a genre that you have seen before. Again, it's a shooter, and it's actually called Tengai. The game itself is called Sengoku Blade in other parts of the world, Japan especially. And I forgot to change the name back before the session. So, but I want to show you this game because the game is great. The game is by Saikyo, one of our partners, and one of our great partners actually. And if you, so we've shown you Gunbird last time, and this game, from a style perspective, is very similar to that, but side-scrolling, amazing graphics. This is from 1996, so it's sort of in the later part of the retro era of arcade gaming. So great, the graphics are amazing, the sound is great, and the game itself is superb. The story has a great story as well. So let me put in a coin and I'll give you some information while we play. So we have 5 characters to play. I sort of like this guy. I think he's the main character because his name is Tengai. But here, great graphics. So the game itself is modeled based on the Sengoku era in Japan. That's one of the reasons why it's called Sengoku Blade in Japan, right? It's a sequel to a game called Sengoku Ace. And at that time, right, in the Sengoku era, people really believed in demons or magic and things like that, right? There's like samurais and everything, and there were a lot of that in that era. And this game reflects that. So as you play the game, you see if you've seen those Japanese mangas, right? Japanese mangas, there's a lot of demons and things like that that's reflected in the mangas. It's very similar, I think, here. So there's a lot of magic happening. So if I press my special button, for example, I do this kind of magic. That's really cool. And um, and that really plays a really good part of the gameplay here as well. From a gameplay perspective, as you can see, huge characters to fight, the bad guys to fight, and the action is extremely fast. And there's a lot of weapons to get, a lot of bad guys to kill, and along with the very fast style gameplay that all Psycho games offer, this game is extremely very, very fast paced and difficult, and it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot of fun, especially if I can pump up the sound. I'm not doing that right now so that you can hear me, but the graphics are great and everything. So this is one shooter that I've been wanting to show you. Actually, even before I wanted to show you Gunbird, but I've been enjoying this game a lot, and um, I think it's just one of the games that I think you should definitely try, and it's definitely coming to iRcade. Launch the game. All right, so that was the first game. Let me show you the second game. The second game I want to show you is a different genre. So this one was shooting. Next one is a puzzle game called Soldum. So Soldum, I picked this game because it's different. So if you look at many different puzzle games out there, right, they're very similar to each other, right? I mean, this certainly has the feel, very Tetris-like feel and everything. But the gameplay itself is different, as you can see. If you've played Othello or Reversi, right, back in the days, it's very similar to that. So you have these colorful fruits coming down, and you are a protector of this forest, and you're protecting these fruits so that your animals can eat it, and there's a storyline. The game itself is, I think, from 1993 or something like that. So these fruits have different colors, right? And very much similar to Reversi. If I put this down and there are two of the same colors, the fruit's color changes like that, right? And if you have same color across the row, then it clears it out. So here I have four oranges, but I have a red here, and I'm getting a red there. The color changes to red. Um, Believe it or not, the game is extremely difficult. um, I'll tell you for sure. I am not good at it. My The game is really way beyond my intelligence level. So smarter people in this audience will be much better than me in this game. But as you can see, I've practiced somewhat, and the game is, at least in the beginning, like it's giving me some hints of what kind of effects I can get like that. So, of course, I can turn the fruits around too. Right? So if I can get this one to red, maybe I think I can clear a line. Oh no. Oh, I didn't think about that thing turning. Uh, so it's very strategic. Initially it's slow, but right, I think it gets faster. At least in the demos, it did that. I wasn't able to get there yet. Again, it's way beyond my intelligence level. And it's going to take a while to finish. So, oh, see, I cleared the line. I'll make that a milestone to end the game for here, but I want to show you that on iRcade, we'll be getting some really good puzzle games. So this is one genre that we're going to be covering well. Shooter, as you saw, we're going to be covering that genre extremely well. We have some good partners and everything. If I just showed you something that I shouldn't have. Anyway, so that was Saldom. And we'll be showing you a lot more puzzle games as we go. Next game I want to show you is a different genre. So I showed you shooter, I showed you puzzle, and I've shown you sports games before, but not in a way that you would expect. So I showed you a snowboarding game, I showed you squash. And I was like, oh, we have some other great games here. Which one should I show? And I said, hey, we love basketball, so why not basketball? So I chose Hoops. Um, Hoops is a game from 1995. Actually, it's not. It says here 96, but I think it was right. It was called Hoops, just Hoops in North America. But it was done in 1995. This game is very interesting. It's 3-on-3, and especially because I'm not a good basketball player, right? I love basketball. My son plays basketball, my little one. Um, and I love watching. I got into basketball. Let me start the game and show you. So yeah, and this game I'm not too good at either. So just a little warning. uh, but I'm gonna show you anyway with my limited skills. Um, I I didn't play much basketball when I was young. Right, I was more of a baseball kind of guy. I played a lot of soccer. Oh, there's a dunk. There you go, first point. And then when my college days, I went to Purdue. I'm a Boilermaker, and when I was there, Glenn Robinson was playing for our school, and he was a junior, and he was like number one in the entire country, and he was like making 60 points. Everybody's like, he's the next Jordan, right? I met him several times. Amazing guy, and great player until he went to pros. But um, great guy. When you go to his dorm, basically his head touches the ceiling. No kidding. It's really tall. twice as tall as me. But anyway, I really enjoy watching this game, and that's when I got into basketball. And after that, right after I graduated, I went to start for went to work for Motorola, and there I played a lot of basketball and things, but never got good at it. But that's why I try to play a lot of basketball games, and which I really enjoy. And anyway, while I was talking, the game finished, and they beat me. But that was hoops. I wanted to show you a sports game, and as we get into more, I'll be showing you a lot more sports games. And this is one of the genres that I want to expand and make it awesome because I love the genre as well, and I know many of you do also. So that was hoops, and I showed you three games, right? There was one more game that I wanted to show you, but next game I think is pretty big. So I'm gonna show you video first. Um, so let me do that. Try to guess what the game is. I think many of you may know the game, but this one I was really excited about, even though I'm not good at it. By the way, do we still have connection? I'm really hoping that we did not lose connection. Um, if you can hear me, can you let me know? If you can confirm for me that you can hear me, that I will go ahead and continue. Uh, oh, great. Okay, thank you. I just got something on the chat, so I'm hoping you can hear me. Um, Great, thank you. Let me continue on. I want to show you another world. So another world is coming to iRcade. One of the reasons why I'm very excited about this game is that it's different. It's an adventure game. And this kind of adventure game was never done on an arcade environment. But after I played it, I found out that even though I'm not good at it, the experience is amazing, especially because this game aims to be very cinematic. So let me show you. So this game was done back in I think 1993, 4, 5, somewhere there. And I want to show you a little bit of the beginning. There we go. That's the first item. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, let me start over. I think I selected the wrong save. There was my save game, and I think I selected the wrong one. Okay. Arrival. No, don't play the save game. I don't know how to get back to my. Okay, I think it's not showing me the thing. Okay, let me just start from the arrival. I'll post up the introduction later on. But this game was done back in 1993, 4, 5, somewhere there. And this was actually one. I think this was the first game that had that was trying to be cinematic, right? So it's got a lot of cinema effects. When you're playing it, it actually feels like you're watching a movie. And that was one of the reasons why this game was so innovative and popular, especially back in the days, because there was no such thing, right? So there were lots of games that was what's the best way to put it? Influenced by this game. Some of them are games like Ico, Metal Gear Solid, and some of the other games that try to be that are very cinematic. Um, and if you look again, 1993, that era, the computing power on the devices were very low, right? So something like this was very difficult to achieve, especially if you look at the background. Oh my God, it's gorgeous, right? Even today's standards, it's gorgeous. Um, they were able to achieve such a performance of this game on such low performance devices is by lowering the polygon count on your characters. So especially when you're animating, polygon count makes the character looks very realistic, and at the same time, it does too much calculation, so it really slows the game down. And they achieved it by making the backgrounds beautiful and lowering the polygon count on this game low. And I think they did a fantastic job of it. Um, Unfortunately, I don't know how to pass that guy. The lion I was never able to pass. So as you know, I'm not too good in this game. I'm gonna practice, but I need to figure out how to beat that lion. So I think from a demo perspective, I'm just gonna try one more time. But I think if I die here, we can continue on with our chat. But gorgeous graphics, a very smooth gameplay, especially if I pump up the sound. The game itself is really, really amazing. It really feels like in a movie. You're in a movie. So let me go back to my PC. If you can give me 1 second. I'm back. Um, oh, I'm so glad to see that finally we have some great comments. And I'm gonna scroll up and start from the beginning. The last one that I had about an hour ago, where I was talking to myself. um, I didn't have any comments, so that was pretty depressing. But that was because the connection was out, and I was talking to myself for 35 minutes. So glad to see that we're back to normal. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. I'm gonna scroll up to see some comments, and as you know, my eyes are getting old, so looks pretty blurry. So I may need to go let's see. So I hope the games were enjoyable, by the way. Another World is again something that I wanted to show you for a while. And I'm so glad that we're able to today. And actually today when I was thinking which game should I show you today, I had one game that was fixed in my mind, and that was Another World. And typically when I do my sessions, I have a theme. And today I wanted to sort of mix it up. So no theme today, just a mix of new genres. Okay, going to questions. Kevin, let's start with yours. It's pretty long. Can you put the official game list for your website on your website? We've gotten tons of live video sessions, pictures, games. It's not a knock on you or anything. You've been doing a great job promoting this. After months and months of advertising this, I think the current game list should be released and then continuously updated as we get more games confirmed. I totally agree with you, by the way. Thank you for that. I think it would help people to decide where they stand on whether they're gonna commit to helping support the company and product and stuff. I totally agree with you. Thank you so much for that. It's not that we're not posting intentionally. We want to. It's just that we're still continuously having some conversations with the company. That's one. Second thing is we're continuously testing the games to make sure that we can deliver the perfect experience, right? So we've tested many games, but we still have a long way to go, and a lot of games that we still have to optimize and things. So we're still trying to figure out what's the best way to do. But right now, I sort of agree with you. And even if we're not ready with some of these games, I mean, uh, that is after our conversation with the company is done. That's very important because that's like legal stuff, et cetera, contractual stuff. But once we get that figured out or squared away, then I think we can go ahead and come up with our final list and release it. And I don't think we're too far away. Um, if you can give me just a little bit of time, we'll make sure that it happens. And yeah, we'll work on that. So thank you so much for that. I completely agree with you. Let's see. Adam, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining. Oh, wow. Since when we started conversation, showing the games, I think a lot of people joined. So thank you so much for joining. Kevin, what is the anticipated price of adding games once we own this arcade machine? Great question. Thank you so much for that. So it's going to be different per game. So how this works is that we don't price it. We work together with the game companies, the owner of the games, right? To come up with a pricing together. So it's going to be different between among all the games, right? But one thing that we're trying to do is to price it as affordably as possible. I mean, I've been there, done that, right? So I have a lot of games at home, and I spent a lot of money, and it broke my bank many times, right? And one of the things that we wanted to do is, especially because iRcade was started as a passion project. It's a passion project for us, right? And we want to make sure that everybody enjoys and everybody gets the chance to play as many games as possible on iRcade. So it's one of the reasons why we're trying to make everything affordable as possible. So we're working on that. We're negotiating with the game companies to make this happen. And unfortunately, it was taking some time, but we're going to try to at least get a range of price for games, right? And we're doing some calculations and things. So especially out of whatever we have in the next couple of weeks, probably, we'll just do calculation and come up with a range and let you know. So a lot of conversations going on there. So as soon as we get figured out, we'll let you know. But we'll try to do this pretty soon. I know that a lot of people are asking for three things. Number one, list of games. Number two, list of preloaded games. Number three, prices of games. I'm fully aware, and I really sincerely really appreciate your patience while we go through our due diligence to get the information for you. And we'll try to make it happen as soon as we can. And again, I don't think we're too far away. So we'll let you know soon. So thank you so much for that. Let's see. Dominic, can you pick the female character? I was going to, because when you talk about side kill games, right? The female characters are very popular. So if you're looking at Gumbird, it's Marion, the witch, right? With a broomstick, who's like the main character of the game. In Tengai, it's very similar as well. I mean, Tengai, the guy that I played, I think he's supposed to be the main character because his name is Tengai. But really, I think there's a reason why he's the second one that's in the list, and on the left of him was a female character. So I think Psycho is one of the companies with a lot of shooting games where female focus is great. And I personally think that's an awesome thing. And female characters have really good power as well, and graphically it's well done also. And from character design as well, those are done fabulously. So I was going to do it, but because Tengai, the game's name is Tengai, so I just selected that Tengai. He also has a really cool special move as well, right? With the Chinese character coming out of his hands when it's a special move. that's pretty cool. So it's one of the reasons why I picked that character. But next time, pick the other person. So thank you for that. Hey, Christina, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Great to see you. Um, Christina, speaking of manga, if you have not seen Berserk, I highly recommend it. It's a little dark but awesome. Is that a manga? I've seen a lot of manga, but Berserk I haven't seen. I know the game, but manga I haven't. But thank you so much for that. Now I have something to do. I will take the homework and watch Berserk. So thank you so much for that. By the way, I'm a huge fan of Japanese manga as well. So I watched a lot of them when I was young, and I was in Japanese manga club when I was in college and so forth. Hey, Patrick, how are you, my friend? Thank you so much for joining. So great to see you. Um, Patrick, my wife would love this game. She loves puzzle games like this. Oh, fantastic. We have some great puzzle games coming. Wink, wink, hint, hint. And also, we have more games that I'll be showing you where uh, ladies like, for example, my wife, who's not really a gamer, but there's certain games that she really loves on her system. My kids, they're also, I have two kids, right? I have a girl and a boy. Of course, the boy, he kills me in every single game that we play together. I don't want to admit it, but he's better than me. um, and he's been playing much less than me, right? But my daughter, she's not a gamer, and there are certain games that she loves as well. So that's why I'm so glad to see that there's diversity in our game portfolio, and we're trying to make it so that the entire family can enjoy together. So I'm so glad to hear that, Patrick. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Um, let's see. Corey, hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining, my friend. Appreciate it. I'm just trying to make sure that the charging on my microphone works. Um, any news on the combo pack for Kickstarter, Bar Top, and Stand? Oh, that's a really good question. So, a lot of conversations happening there right now. We're trying to decide if we should. So, I think this is this all matters on understanding of how Kickstarter works, right? So I'm not sure if you've been to Kickstarter or not before, but um, they have something called tiers, and these are different packages, I guess you can choose. That may be probably the best way to put it. And you can only choose one, right? And that's how Kickstarter is set up. So we're currently debating on how to make it happen so that we can provide the best experience of being able to make that happen without cluttering up. So if we have like 30 different choices, then people are going to be confused. And that's where the suggestion that I got was to make it as compact as possible, but offer whatever you want to, cover all the different areas that you want to cover. So we're working on that very hard. We'll try to make it happen as quickly as possible, and we'll let you know as soon as possible. Right now, unfortunately, we're still working on it. So that's why where there's not a finalized decision yet, but I'll let you know that as soon as it happens. We're trying to make it happen because we're trying to make it perfect, and that's always hard. So we'll let you know as soon as we can. Thank you so much for that. It's a great question, and in your patience as well. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Oh, Christina, Another World. I remember playing the game long time ago. Oh, you played the game before. I'm so glad to hear. When I was young, I bought it. I had it, and I never really played it until now. So I knew that I bought it because the graphics were awesome, right? Back in the days, especially, and I knew that it was a cool game, but it was hard. It was hard, and back at that time as well, I used to have Apple II, Apple II, and then of course the Nintendos and Super Nintendos and things. But yeah, I had a lot of games. There are other games that I was playing. So I don't think I ever got into it. But um, if you have any tips on getting past the lion, let me know. Thank you so much for that. Hey, Lutello, how's it going, my friend? Thank you so much for joining. I'm going down my list. Today, I think the scrolling on my chat window is working better. Last week, it wasn't scrolling down for some reason, but this time it's better. Um, let's see. I'm quickly looking to see if there are any questions that I haven't answered yet. Let me get to real quick. Um, mm, oh, Patrick. Patrick's telling me that you can get a gun in another world. I didn't know that. Oh, thank you so much for letting me know. Now there's a motivation for me to play and get further. If I can just figure out how to get past that lion, yeah, I'll figure it out. So thank you so much for that. Patrick, John, will another world be preloaded on the iRcade? This is where you say yes. Okay, your word is my command. I'll say yes. We will think about it. I love your question. Thank you so much for that. On the preloaded side, just quick update. We're still working on it very diligently. I think we're getting there. I think we're very close. There are a couple of things that we're still trying to lock down on with the game publishers. So conversations still going on. But from what I'm looking at, this is my sort of wild guess, right? And I'm not the person who's working on directly, right? But I say maybe a couple weeks. We should be able to lock down on the preloaded list. I'll keep you updated, but just a quick rough estimate. We're trying to make it as quickly as we can. So just to give you some ideas on where we are and what we're looking at. So thank you so much for the question. I appreciate it. Let's see. Going down the list. Patrick, by the way, I hope you like my answer. I did include the word yes in there. Let's see. I'm so glad that you guys are liking the game. So I thank you so much for that. Patrick, John, also, should we tell the viewers about June 14th? Sure. Let's do that very soon. I want to make sure that the eyes are we have the contents, but it's up to you, my friend. It's up to you. Whatever decision you take, I will follow. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Let's see. But I'm very excited about that, by the way, Patrick. So thank you so much for that. I've already told my teams and right, getting pumped up. So thank you so much for that. Let's see. Jeff, can we see Best Buy Boxing? You're holding out on us, John. Okay. I will show you some really cool stuff next time. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Just for you, my friend. Just for you. I'll show you some awesome stuff. Hello, Jim. How's it going? Thank you so much for joining, my friend. I'm so glad to see you. Hey, Marshall, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Oh, Rick, you joined as well. Thank you so much. Happy Friday. I appreciate it. Wow, I'm so glad that all my friends are here. See, just going through the list. Corey, so how many games are preloaded on system? I know of only 2. Another great question that continuously keeps on coming up, and we're also trying to make that happen, right? So we're trying to include as a good number as possible. So basically, the calculation is that, right? Including games are very expensive, but of course, depending on what type of game it is, obviously. But what we're trying to do is to include some of the games that will really have you enjoy, right? You will really, really love. And those games are very expensive. So we're trying to make the right decisions on making sure that that happens without increasing the price of the device, because I don't want to increase the price in device. So that's where all the conversations and things are going on. And of course, in order to make that happen, we have to talk to the game companies, etc., etc. So a lot of things are in the behind the scene. lot of activities are going on to make this determination. But I think we have some good numbers, and I uh, I think we're getting close. So, like I said, maybe in about a couple of weeks, hopefully, quote unquote. This is just me guesstimating, but I personally think maybe in the next couple of weeks or so, we'll have something for you. So if you can give me a little bit more time. Meanwhile, I'll continue to keep you updated, for sure. So thank you so much for that. Let's see, Jeff. Let me get to your question. Your questions are always awesome, and you had a long one. Long ones sort of catch my eyes. So let me get to this. I have young children at home who will also be enjoying iRcade. With that in mind, will the App Store have content information notice such as whether the game has violence, horror, blood, and gore? Absolutely. Sexualized contents or other language? Absolutely, my friend. It would be helpful for parents to know prior to purchasing it. Absolutely. One of the big things that we're trying to make is iRcade to be family friendly experience, right? So one of the things I'm going through right now is basically ever since we have iRcade, um, before that, we had a lot of individual activities, right? My son was locked in his room playing his game on his phone and things like that, and didn't like it. But after we have iRcade, now they want to play on this device because especially like two players and we're competing with each other, and if we win, let's say I beat my son, then I get a bragging rights. Let's say that I am the champion of Riptide GP Renegade. um, Last time, several sessions ago, I beat him, and we have this in video. So I've been having the pleasure of bragging to him that I beat him. But ever since that, I lost. So I lost the title. But things like that are happening, and I'm seeing that this is a very great device for family as well as individuals as well. So I want to make sure that this happens. So one thing that I found is there are certain games that we didn't know about. Um, and we're trying to now detect that as closely as possible. So, for example, um, one of the games that we had, one of the games that I showed, I didn't know that, had in very small part of the picture, so a very small part of the scene, I should say, there was an inappropriate picture that was like this small, very, very difficult to detect. But because of that, we've decided to remove the game. And at least from and at least from classification perspective of being a family, because of that very small picture, we're going to make this into a more focused on adult, even though it has nothing to do with that because of that small picture. So we're gonna look more carefully to make sure that we have that classification and make sure that iRcade is very family friendly. So hope that answered the question. We're gonna make it happen. So thank you for that. Let's see. Kevin, thank you for your response. I do. Oh, thank you so much, Kevin. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the great question too. Um, Jason, so close, so far away. We have waited so long for the game list. You mean you have waited for so long? I hear you. I hear you, my friend. I have as well, quite honestly. So, but we'll get it to you. We'll get it to you very soon. So we'll let you know. Appreciate it. Appreciate your patience. Again, it's not too far away. So Marshall, will you have a USB port for gun support and wheel support for some games that needs it, like Wave Racer? Great question. First thing that I will tell you for sure is that we will not have USB port. The reason is because of piracy. I've been stressing that many times in these videos too, but we're extremely against piracy, especially because we've seen and talked to, and we have a lot of friends in the game companies, right? And they put a lot of efforts and money and time and sleep and things to bring these great games to the community. And people were pirating, and many of these companies went out of business, and they were not rewarded. And I've seen their faces too many times. So one thing that we're trying very hard to prevent is piracy, and we're going to fight piracy very hard. And that's one of the reasons why game companies really like us too, actually, because we're going to be helping with that. And great thing here is, right, what we strongly believe is if we provide the right experiences for the right prices, then people will not be pirating. And because the opportunity or the route to get to this experience is not there, in our opinion, that's the reason why people were pirating, because there was no other option. But if we provide that option of having the best, the most amazing experience for a very small price, which are going to be used to reward the game companies, uh, and then people are more than willing to support their favorite companies so that they can make better games and things. So that's why that's one of the big reasons why this is um, our thinking. And by the way, every time I see um, these advertisements on Facebook that says we have 2,500 games on our system, blah, that makes me really mad. So those are the companies that we want to go after. Um, Now, I'm not gonna. Maybe going after is not a good word, but right. We want to make sure that we don't deliver that kind of experience. It's like 2,500 games in there, but how many copies of the same game are in there, and how many times, how much time are you spending on setting up those games, and many of them don't work and things like that, right? I've heard so many complaints. So what we're trying to do is going the other way, provide the perfect experience for a price that everybody can afford, and let's reward these game developers. So that's our goal. So that's the reason why we don't have USB port. That's why we are against piracy. But the sorry, I dropped it a little bit. But going back to your main question, I think what you're looking for is gun support and wheels and things like that. Um, After we ship our product, anything is possible. Um, and iRcade is very flexible. That's a great thing. So we're listening to you. So if you can have your comments coming, then we are collecting all this information. And then once we launch, right now we are totally 100% focused on launching the product. So once we launch, then we will definitely are going to be looking at, okay, how can we expand on the current experience that we have? Because we have all the capabilities built in. One of the reasons why we have built our PCB, our hardware board, like this on purpose, is so that we can make sure that we have all the enablers in place, so that we can develop new experiences even after launch. So device will have all the experiences built in. I'm sorry, all the enablers built in, and then we'll be building a lot of great experiences afterwards. So we're listening to you. Please have these great ideas and comments coming. So thank you so much for that. Mark, what is the cool looking? Sorry, it's my eyes. It's not you. It's my eyes. What is the cool looking iRcade that's got the red and blue color to it? I love the way system looks. Cause that oh, my window just scrolled up. Plus that red and blue looks really snazzy. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love these colors as well. So I was looking at the device, especially that neon orange. And before that, I was thinking about some other color, but after I saw this color, I'm like, we have to make this company color. So that neon orange, we made into our company color. That's iRcade neon orange. Love it. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Lamarcus, hey, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. Hi, is the iRcade an officially licensed product? Absolutely. Every single game that we have are officially licensed. And every single game that are sold, big portion of that, the money that you're going to be paying are going to be going to the developers. So we're definitely officially licensed product. Um, See, Lutalo, Kickstarter withstand 350. We'll see, my friend. We'll see. We're doing some calculations right now. We'll we'll make some determinations. We'll let you know as soon as possible. By the way, our device is extremely expensive to make. um, as an FYI, the quality we try to focus a lot on quality. I personally feel premium quality is very very important, and it really goes a long way. Um, so that's why we try to build in the quality from day one. Make sure all the materials that we're using are top quality, premium, and things like that. So if you look at our device, if you feel it, I'm looking at the device right now. It's extremely solid. It feels like sort of Mercedes Benz. That's why I tell everybody because it feels like it. If literally, if it feels like if you throw it over the bridge, it's not gonna break. I'm pretty sure it will if you throw it over the bridge. So don't do it. um, but I've actually make it fall down about 5 times and it didn't break. So I think it's very very solid, high quality product. So it's just wanted to let you know. Patrick, Lowell Jung is funny. Thank you so much. You know what my kids said last time you said that? They're like, Daddy, he meant you're funny looking. Not funny. They meant you're funny looking. But thank you so much. I appreciate it, Patrick. Let's see. Oh, Christina, thank you so much as well. I appreciate it. Jung does have great sense of humor. All right, thank you. Now I have something to tell my kids. They did not mean I'm funny looking. They really meant I'm funny. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Let's see, Chris, you can also put it up on Indiegogo just like Kickstarter if you wanted to put it on more crowdfunding sites for more sales. Oh, thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. We actually have quite a few friends at both Kickstarter and Indiegogo from our previous lives, and we'll definitely look into that. We'll definitely look into that. We're right now thinking at various different ways on how to make it happen right after Kickstarter. But right now, we're like 100% focused on Kickstarter right now because number one, obviously, we sort of started late. And we want to make it happen as soon as we can and things. Um, yeah, lots of focus going on to Kickstarter right now. And beyond that, right, we have a couple, maybe a couple of people working on it, but everyone else is like totally focused on Kickstarter, so that we can deliver and make Kickstarter happen as soon as we can. So again, we'll keep you updated. That's a great idea, though. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Um, Stephen, hey, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. My son asks me every day if we can go pick up the iRcade. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And please give my thanks to your son as well. I do know the kids really like it because before Corona, I had my son's friends come over and they play a lot of this and they really liked it. They were like, "Whoa, this is so cool." So I know kids like it. And it's a really good conversation starter and party device as well. So kids like it. But here now, my son becomes my enemy because I want to play. And my son's like, "Come on, daddy." So, okay, I'll play you on the title. We'll play for the title. And he always beats me. So, and he brags. um, see. Wayne, it's Xavier's a game you could have for iRcade. I really like this game. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Wayne. I really love the game as well. Quite honestly, if I remember this correctly, I don't think Xavier's is on our launch list, but I really want to get the game. So great thing about us is that launch game is just the beginning, right? And where it gets really interesting is afterwards, especially because like initially, I mean, pre-launch, game companies have a lot of questions about, should we get on this platform or not? So a lot of companies are watching us right now, including especially the big ones, right? So once we launch and we're successful and we have products in people's hands, it's going to be so much easier to get especially these big company games. And we are talking to several of them right now, in fact. And we do also have several companies right now who are watching us right now. So, right, as we grow and as we have more people joining the family, and more people playing our games, then it's going to be so much easier to get these games. And Xevious is actually one of my it's in my to-do list. So thank you so much. That's a fantastic game. I really want that as well. Let's see. Marshall, will we get to buy games for it when we buy the arcade and be installed before shipped to me? Oh, great question. Thank you so much for that. And you won't have to, right? Because right, great thing about iRcade is that you can download your games whenever you want and wherever you want. So right, how this works is you go into there's going to be an application where it's an app store, right? Game store basically. And you look there, it's very easy to use, and you see a game that you like, you just click a button and it'll automatically download it for you onto the device. Of course, and the charge will go through your credit card. So it's very easy to use. So there's no need to escort anybody to install it for you. I mean, all you have to do is click a button to get all your favorite games. And great thing is that game library will continue to grow rapidly, in fact. So you'll be able to get your favorite games, and also you can also look forward to what's coming up next. And I think that's a good part of the fun as well. So there's going to be always something new to play. So so that'll be great. So thank you so much for the great question. Let's see. Christina at Wayne, I think I've heard of that game. It's similar to Smash TV, right? Except with space and aliens. That sounds interesting. I don't know which game this is. I know Smash TV, but if you can let me know some names of the games, if it's really good, then we'll look into it. Thank you so much for that. Wayne, is it possible to see high scores for games across the IR community? That's a fantastic question. I love the question. Um, I love this question, and at the same time, these forward-looking questions are very difficult to answer because, right? I mean, I've been saying this, so I hope you guys are not tired of it. But anything's possible in the future, and we have a long list of features that we want to get done after we launch, and all these new again, because our hardware has all the enablers built in. All we have to do is build the new experience in, and we update your device via software update. You get new features and new functionalities will continue to come in. That's what we want to do, and there are many, many things that we want to do. So I'll leave it there for now. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But these are great ideas, so please keep them coming. I thank you so much. I really appreciate these. Let's see. I think that was the last question that I had. So great. So first of all, I wanted to say thank you so much again for staying with me today. There were a lot of hiccups, technical hiccups that happened. I'm gonna again try to look into see what's going on. It may or may not be my tool that I'm using right now, but I'll look into see and try to fix this as soon as we can. We will have another session coming next Tuesday. We'll have some really interesting games to show you and some great news as well. So looking forward to it. Again, this Saturday, if you see our crew in Southern California area filming, please stop by and say hi, try out the device, play some games, and have some fun. And have a fantastic weekend, everybody. And we will talk to you next Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining. Again, huge thanks again for waiting for me today. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll talk to you again next Tuesday. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye.